Happy New Year! So this is the time of year where most people are thinking about starting a fitness regime or making themselves healthy or making some health changes. So today I'd like to give you my top tips for improving your health and vitality and staying on track at this most important junction for most people's health and fitness. Stay tuned. Tip number one. When you're trying to change your habit, it's very, very easy to get caught up in current or old and very well entrained habits that we already have. So one of my favorite tips is for you to set multiple alarms for the different tasks that you want to achieve. So as an example, when I was trying to get in the habit of building, getting up early enough to go and do my workout before my session started rather than training later on in the day, I set myself multiple alarms first thing in the morning to get me going. And these alarms were named things like, get up out of bed, you lazy arse. Start working out now. It's time to wake up. And then I found what I call, or what the video was called, sorry, the audio was called, was my healthy fitness wake up call. Now this alarm would go off, and very shortly after the alarm would sound, a voice would start speaking saying it's time to wake up and work out, which was really, really annoying. But it programmed my brain over time to get in the habit of getting up and getting moving so that I could get to the gym in time to do my morning regime. So tip number one, set multiple alarms to complete the tasks that you need to do, and then don't turn those alarms off until at least you've started to action them. The more annoying the alarm, the better. Tip number two, don't set your time frame for completing your goal so far in the future that it's impossible for you to see. It's the beginning of January, so you want to set a 30-day goal, or if we're already into a few days within January, so a goal for the end of January for you to complete. Now, if that's weight loss, a couple of pounds is a great start point because it's easy to achieve, and if you can achieve that goal within a short period of time, that will give you the motivation to keep going. Don't make the goal too hard or too complicated. Make it as easy as possible. That way you keep your motivation high. There's nothing worse than losing your mojo because you set your goal so far in the front, or you've made the goal way too complicated that you can't actually achieve it and you can't see it. That's a surefire way of failure. So make the goal easy to achieve and within a short enough time frame for you to keep your motivation levels high. Tip number three, it's much harder to let someone else down than it is to let yourself down. I know that's obvious, but it's the mistake a lot of people make. We find it so much easier to let ourselves down. Oh, I won't go to the gym today. Oh, it's only a little bit of food. Whereas if you've got an accountability buddy or a trainer or a coach to help keep you on track, and you feel like you're letting the other person down, you will stick to your goals so much better than you will if you go it alone. So, tip number three, don't go it alone. Get help, get advice, get a coach, get a friend, get a buddy for the gym. Find somebody that's aligned with your goals and help each other stick to those goals. You will achieve your goals far easier. Tip number four, if you've got a massive goal, you want to lose 10 stone, you want to run a marathon, you want to complete a high rocks event, don't make that big goal seem so far in front. Chunk it down to smaller bits. Make the goal as easier to achieve. If you want to lose 10 stone, then your goal first of all is to lose 1 pound and then lose another pound. If your goal is to run a marathon, then your first goal is to run 1 mile. If your goal is to complete a high rocks, then run 1 kilometer and try and do one of the small events that go after the kilometer. So a kilometer on the treadmill and then up to 1,000 meters on the ski erg, and build up your fitness from those smaller steps. Build up your weight loss from those smaller steps. Don't make it so big and so massive that, again, it's a bit like tip number one. If the goal's too big, you're not going to get there. Chunk it down, make it small, make it easy. Tip number five, make sure you're checking in with yourself on a regular basis. You shouldn't just be assessing things like your weight. You should also be assessing your hydration status, your body composition, your sleep, your mood, your energy, your skin quality. Obviously, I'm a bit cold today. So the more you check in with yourself and assess where you were to where you are versus where you want to be, the easier it is for you to see if you're making progress. And if you're not making progress, then that's okay. You just reevaluate where you are, where you're going wrong, and make some changes to get you back on track. Don't forget, it's not about making massive changes in the short time. It's about making small changes that you can keep consistent to keep you on track and keep you moving the way that you want to go. And tip number 6, if you're starting the gym or you're starting back at the gym, revisit an old program to kickstart your motivation and make it easy for you to keep coming. If you need something new, then by all means start something new, but don't have it so hard and so complicated that it's easy for you to lose your motivation or your way. Make it simple, make it easy to follow, but make it challenging enough so you feel like you've accomplished something, and build from there. The goal of a workout is not to put you in the ground. The goal of a workout is to challenge your system enough to stimulate some improvement so that next time you're a little bit fitter, a little bit stronger, or you've worked a little bit harder, and your body will remember that difficulty and build from it. Don't just go from a 50 kilo deadlift to a 100 kilo deadlift. That's a way to knacker yourself in. Go from, if you start at 10, 12. If you're starting at 50, go to 55 and just work on those small incremental improvements. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you've enjoyed these little tips. And if you find them useful, then make sure you watch some of our other videos. If you've got any suggestions for videos or information that you'd like in the future, then don't forget to just drop me a DM or make a comment to the video and I'll see what I can do for you. See you soon.